All right, what's happening? So it's YouTube live time. It's the first one actually. So I'm like so excited, like insanely excited. No, that's not a bong, and no, that is not Groot. That's a actually. You wanna know what that is? That's a vocalists use that, but it's just water vapors that you inhale. Could probably use it as a bong too, but I get paranoid. See that? You turn it on and you breathe. It's kind of cool. Anyway, we're not here today to talk about where's the inhaler thing, the bong, but we're here to talk about where's the light, which is my latest single for my newest project. It's called Alaeddin. I know, really creative, but I wanted to break down what I have done with this particular song, and it's really cool. It's really exciting. A lot of elements to it. We just sent it off to somebody who's been in the industry. He's been a music director, program director for one of the top music stations that there is, and his feedback was, and I quote, "It's aces." It's aces. New song is aces. Best one I've heard so far. So we're pretty excited. So I would like to kind of walk you through my my process of how this whole song came about. So it started with just a guitar. So whoop! I decided I wanted to write a song that went from a major to a minor. So excuse the two capos. The thing with 12 strings is that holding the strings down is kind of tough. But I want it pretty shitty. Anyway, but the idea is to go from a major to a minor. Woo! Wow! All right. I can't believe we're doing this live. Trust me, you will thank me for tuning this bad boy. What I would do is I would probably, if you're reviewing this, I'd skip about 2 minutes. Yeah, capos also detune strings. Not because they actually detune them, but because you have to retune the guitar once you have a capo on, because some strings aren't pushed down hard enough, so you gotta tighten them. I know that probably doesn't make sense to a lot of you guys, but the gist of it is that it's really annoying. But I'm still on the quest to find the right capo that can really make a 12 string sound good when you use a capo. Anyway, there we go. Okay, much better. So how does it go? Oh yeah. See? Happy, sad. So I incorporated the melody to have those two notes, except not the whole octave lower, but I decided to have it where the, bye guys.
Bye, thank you.
You got it. All right, so you go from that, for your major, you go into your minor, and then you drop down to your D. And then you have this cool like little C thing. It's not really a C, but it's like a C with an added sixth. Yeah. Anyway. So it started out with just me kind of humming. Of course, you throw a couple notes in between to kind of give it, some sort of melodic thing, and that's really what I had. But that was the idea I had for the chorus. Now, how did I come up with the? I have a song called Camarillo, which is going to be on the album, and I was just kind of jamming to it, to the pre-chorus. I'm like, that pre-chorus, I really want to use it for the verse, and I changed the melody. So anyway, so that's really how it starts. Typically, it's on a guitar. And then I start humming along, and then I start coming up with ideas. But let's kind of Let's kind of play this thing. You know what I mean? So let's break down that intro. Okay, let's flip this bad boy. Okay. By the way, we're at Granted Records, which is my recording studio in Santa Ana. So I'm gonna zero in here. These green tracks, these are the keyboards. So I use this guy. It's all I need when it comes to synth, especially melodies, chords, that sort of thing. I use this pretty much all I need. But it's very versatile. So if you go in and you look at the actual notes, I'm gonna solo this guy out. So you just go, you hit the S button, yellow is solo, and now you got all these different notes. But you know what I mean? Octaves are good, so I did the exact same duplicate and I just dropped it by an octave. That gives it just a little bit more breadth. Hear that? Then, if you notice, I got them panned. So I got the low octave on the left and the other one on the right. Then, like I was saying, you got chords. So I got this guy. Now, I like dissonance. So instead of a 3-note chord, it's a 4 notes. So we got that guy. It's a suspend. I think that's a 4. Yeah, it's a 4. It's a suspended 4. Yeah. And then same thing here. But that's a suspended 2, which is nice. All right, so it isn't all about the cookie cutter stuff. You got to throw in some stuff so, that's different. Anyway, so all of those. Oh, and then lastly, I've got the synth bass, which is this guy. Sorry, the Mac Pro is like huge. And I hit the same note twice, except we're going from major to minor, that's why. And I got these octave out too, see? And then you have the very distinct lick, the synth lick that I've got that I wrote, which is really cool. This guy. Yeah, I got that thing phased out. I even have it panned so it's going left and right. So anyway, so together sounds like this. Oh, then you got all that fuzz. What is that? Of course, I'm a guitarist. So lay down some crunch guitars just to kind of give it some rock feel. And then what that sound is, it's all it is just a reversed. It's just a reversed crash cymbal. So when you hit the crash, it goes. So all this is just reversed. That's all that thing is. And then you've got your verse, which is the pretty much the pre-chorus chords for Camarillo turned into a verse and sung with an entirely different melody. Break down what's going on with the so I got a live drum kit, okay, but what I do is I do sound replacement with the drums. I actually replace the kick, replace the snare, replace the toms. The only thing that's actually live are the overheads and the hi-hat, but everything else I replace because I just like to control the sound as much as I can. We've got a full kit, I mean a gorgeous kit. We use an SM57 to track. We've got a great Ludwig. It's beautiful, and it's a great instrument, but I'm very stubborn. I like full control over my sound, so I do the sound replacement. That's just how I do it. Everybody does it their own way. That's how I do it, and that's what I like. Okay, kick. I mean bass. So you hold out that note a bit and just get a little percussive. I like just that combo of the two. Bum, ba-dum, ba-dum, ba-dum. You know what I mean? And then you got the two guitar parts. The chords, right? The rhythm, basically the rhythm guitars. These guys. I love that sound. So this is an actual raw guitar feed going right in, like all the reverb and everything. It's all done after. So if I was to solo out a guitar track, we'll take the right pan. So that's feeding through an actual virtual amp. But if I solo it, so if I ghost everything, see how everything turned from blue to gray, you hear what it sounds like when I recorded it, which is this. By the way, I use Apollo Twin, and my setup with the Apollo Twin is I do the Neve 88RS and the Oxide tape for analog tape sound, and the Harrison. It's an EQ, well, plug-in, but it's gorgeous. It's what Michael Jackson used at Westlake. There are actually a lot of, look, Westlake Studios, you should know what Westlake is. But you got the Dangerous drum bus, Bruce's Hat Trick, all these bosses that were in that studio that used this piece of equipment. We've got the beater being the kick. So all these are a Dangerous drum bus. Oh yeah, we talked about that. Tom for Thriller. So all these things, it's pretty cool. Anyway, so those are my three. Those are my go-tos. Neve 88RS, that's a preamp. I use it as a preamp. Anywho, so, but that's what feeds my raw. So what you're hearing is feeding through that. And it goes into my system, and then I go in and I design pretty. All right, so then I've got the other guitars. I've got a 5-piece band that's going to be performing this. So I got 2 guitarists, I got a keyboardist, a bass player, and a drummer, and then myself up on vocals. I love laying these instruments down, and I wish I could play all of them on stage, but I can't. I have to connect with my audience. But still, it's just fun, even recording this stuff. Anyway, when it goes into the chorus, right, I want you guys to hear. I'm not going to play the whole verse. You know, you got the idea, but I want you to hear what's going on with the chorus. All right, so let's break this thing down. So we do have that very unique synth lead going through the verses. Pretty awesome. But when it comes to the chorus, I played you guys that during the intro, so that's the actual chorus lead. All right, remember that. That's the 2 octaves. When it comes to the instruments, had a pretty groovy bass line, kept that choppiness with the coming in, high octave, because I'm playing an E major and E minor, so the bass should just stay on the E, but instead of just playing the same E octave for 2 whole measures, I decided to go up. Low E, working its way up to the high E. You know what I mean? Then I've got the chords. If you remember, I was playing an E major to an E minor type of thing. And that's what this sounds like. Hear that? Yeah. Then to top it off, you got your second guitars, right? Because I got two guitar players. Gotta throw in the guitars. But anyway, having a second guitar player just helps. Solos and adding just color. So that's this. Going from the major to the minor. It's not the cleanest take, but hey, it's rock and roll. Cool. So then we got our second verse going to our chorus, a little bit of the same, and then we go into our bridge. So. I actually had this as the pre-chorus for the song, but I just felt like we really needed to just get right into the chorus. So I used it instead of a pre-chorus. I used it as the bridge. But the melody I had for the pre-chorus, I just scratched that and I just wrote a melody on top of the chords for that. What was previously a pre-chorus but is now a bridge. I wrote a melody on top of those chords that are more conducive towards a bridge. They just have different feels. Pre-choruses kind of get you ready for a chorus. A bridge kind of takes you off on a different tangent, different feel. So that's why. So I've got the guitars, the second guitar is doubling what's going on with the vocals. Then you're going to see that there's some extra stuff here. When we get to our final chorus, and I actually did some separate chukka-chukkas right here, just so we can kind of accentuate them, and I raised the volume so that when we go into it, so it sounds like this. That's all it is, but it stands out. I could probably turn those up a little bit, actually. Just give them a little bit more of a push. Cool. So then now we've got these guys coming in. So if you'll hear the chorus, you're going to start hearing some more guitars coming in. I'll break it down once we're all done. But skipping. Ooh, system overload. Hold on a second, we gotta exit a couple of apps. Let's see, message, notes, calendar. All right, so that should solve that. So. Takes a second for it to realize it. There are less stuff open. Yeah, everything's closed. All right, more stuff closed. Oh, okay, I got 3 screens. So anyway. My dear Lord. All right, so let's kind of break down what we got going on here. So these guys, all they are just choppy. So hearing it with the mix again. Cool, and then we got into some harmonies on the what we're playing on the chorus on the. Full band. All right, cool. I can give you guys a little bit of a breakdown what's going on with the vocals. So you got your main vocals, your high harmonies, and your low harmonies, if you can see that. So my mains are 20, see, from 61 to 81. I have 20 tracks. Not I have 20 vocals, I have 20 tracks. I don't like to automate. I hate automation, volume automation. I just hate it. So what I do is I create a different track for every volume level and panning formation. So that's what I do. It works for me. I like it. So I don't like to throw in H's. I hate them, actually. But and it's a pet peeve of mine when I hear singers going, why? I hate that. But this one, I felt like there should be some H's where there aren't any in the actual word. But it's just a matter of taste. My greatest prize. Prize, not prize, but prize. Okay, that's just the way I roll. Actually, I don't. Very rarely do I do that stuff, but it just worked for this one. This was a very tough song for me to write. It's very real. It was a breakup thing, and I hated going through this and recording it. I wrote it and recorded it while I was going through it. Not fun, but. So that's one thing that Guy Bobasek has taught me, is to keep that larynx down. If you, I mean, listen to that. It's. I used to go, realize, but I don't do that anymore. Realize. I know it sounds ridiculous with all those echoes, but it works with the mix. So if I was just soloing this out, working on it, I would totally turn it down. But you have to listen to your instruments as a whole as well, so that you know how they fit in with the rest of the mix. This love had died, yet I wonder where. All right, so what I did here was it was the same volume, kind of. This one's a little bit louder, but what I did with this one has all the echoes and the effects. See that? These guys right there, the greens and the blues, each one is a send, but this one is for echo, this one is for reverb, and this is, well, drum reverb, but I haven't turned all the way down. Anyway, so I'm using the vocal reverb and a delay on the verse, but when I cut into this not pre-chorus, but just tag at the end of the verse, I wanted it dry, so I actually kept the reverb, but I took off the delay, so it just sounded like we're going into another part. Yeah, and then I did add delay and reverb, so this kind of just wakes you up, you know, kind of like how you would for a dog. You just kind of like startle them and you get them out of their zone they're in. That was the intention for this. Subtle. If you listen. Good. So you see there are three here. So I have my single vocal line right here, and then I got my choruses, all duplicated for the main. And I got my verse 2 right here. Same thing for bringing in. Then we've got our bridge. The first line, I have it doubled, not tripled. But then once harmonies come in, which are around here, that's when I brought in all three. This guy should, well, here, I can move it up. But yeah, that's what it looks like. And then, I don't have a time, I got like just a couple minutes left. But then towards the end, regular chorus, but then here you just go nuts. I searched the world, but you're nowhere inside. Where is the light? I search the world, but you're nowhere inside. All right. Sorry, I got a call. So that, yeah. So that was that, and then I go into the harmonies. There we go. Okay. What happened? Yeah, I got a phone call, and there we go. Okay. So you got your high harmonies. Got them pretty much. I don't have them in the verses. I just have them during the choruses, some parts of the bridge for the high harmonies, but the bridge, I've got the low harmonies throughout the bridge. Then going into 3-part on the second half of the bridge. Then back to the 2-part, and then 3-part here. Cool. You notice there's no synth here. Just wanted to keep it, break it down a little bit, and then we brought them in, so that really helps accentuate them. And then we've got the "Where is the light?" right? The light. Where is the light, right? We got those guys. And then on the second part of the last chorus, we've got the "Where's the light?" and the "Where's the light that was shining through my eyes," while this crazy dude is like wailing, which is me. And then right here, I've got a 4-part harmony. So, here, I'll solo that out so you can hear what that sounds like on its own. But you're nowhere inside. The trick is, especially with vocals, especially with harmonies, I mean, you're talking about 3 of each. So that's 9 voices, 4 parts, that's 12. So all 12 have to cut at the same time. Doubling is not as easy as it sounds. You're matching tones, you're matching pitch, you're also matching timing. Anyway, if you want to hear the whole song, you can download it on idon'tknow.com. And then, but if you click on the link here and then here, you want to avoid that link. Actually, you want to report this link right here. You can check out this song. Thank you for hanging out for my first, what are we going to call this? Producer breakdown? I don't know. But I want to thank you guys for hanging out with me. And hope you enjoyed it. Hope you learned something. We didn't get too much into the mixing. I really just want to break down what the parts are, so when you hear it, because there's a lot, you can enjoy listening to all these different parts when you hear the song over and over again. Thank you for your support. Love you guys.